And welcome inside Bill Hunter Arena in West Edmonton for Tier 1 Junior B lacrosse. On a Friday night, it's the Queen City Kings rolling in to take on the Edmonton Warriors. The Kings coming in at 13-1, while the Warriors come in at 2-15. The Kings sitting atop the Eastern Division as they get set for an impending battle with the Blizzard come playoff time, while the Warriors' season is all but done, playing out the string, trying to get an upset win here tonight. The Kings will be wearing their road whites, the Edmonton Warriors, their home blacks. We're all set. Let's play some lacrosse. Ball is picked up right off the draw by the Kings, and they'll start up here. That shot comes in, 5-hole attempt. It's shut off by Bialik. Ball swings over from Morris into the stick of Hoagland. That shot handled by the netminder Andrews, and he's going to try a long floor pass that hit the light, and it'll be Warrior possession. Here's Johnny Royer for the Warriors. He swings it over to Nicholson. Andrusiak with a bit of a seal there, and Nicholson rolls back. Gets it over to the right side for Morris. Morris off his back foot. Gets a shot soaked. He's knocked down. Loose ball goes towards the Kings. They can't pick it up. Now they do. And it'll be into the stick of Podol. He quickly gets it to the captain, Jackson Lenz. The prolific righty swings it back over to the left side. And a nice spin move there by Clark. Clark up to Panko. Shot easily handled by Bialik. As the ball's transitioned out, Hoagland with it now. Hoagland stutter step. He gets it up to Johnny Royer. Royer to Andrusiak. He tried to feed it to Nicholson, but the pass was behind him. Ball goes loose, where it's promptly picked up by Bilodeau. By Basinger. And then he got it out in front to Andrusiak, who pulled it around a defender, and he got stopped. And the loose ball is picked up by the Kings. Here's a player I really like, having seen him a couple of weeks ago against the Outlaws here on a Friday night. Kennedy, he transitions the ball nicely, but a loose ball or a moving pick is called on the Kings, and it'll be Warrior ball. Back into the offensive zone comes Lafleur. To Nicholson up top, now to Hoagland, the U17A affiliate. Comes up high with it to Nicholson. Nicholson around a defender, and he rolls one at Andrews, stopped, and turned back the other way by the Kings. Double comes, but they peel off, and the Kings will be able to possess here. Now wide open to the net, as wide open, Pladsen is allowed to walk right to the top of the crease, catch the ball, and deposit it for the 1-0 lead. And that's where you'll see the Warriors get hurt a lot, and a lot of teams that tend to be a little bit on the weaker side are very vulnerable in transition and either not getting back quick enough or picking up the right assignments or just getting back at all, and the Kings take advantage of that. That ball's in behind Clark. He picks it up off the boards. Clark around a defender, and he floats it in on Bialik. Stopped by the netminder, and he'll look to outlet. He hands it to Redlick, who's had a tremendous season for the Warriors. Some thought that he might be moved at the deadline, but from what I understand, wanted to remain a Warrior here and play out the string. As the ball is moved to Andrusiak. Andrusiak up across the top, and he misses the net to the far side. Now Hoagland with the loose ball. He just tries to push it at the net. And it'll be Kings possession. Palindry tried to flip it inside. Misses his target. Loose ball. It's going to be picked up by the Warriors. And that's Patterson, who worked his way through a maze of players, but then the Warriors are nabbed for a moving pick call, and it'll be Kings ball. 1-0, 16 minutes to go here, first period, early on from Bill Hunter, and that shot's rifled off the crossbar by Lenz. Ball goes loose. It's picked up by the Kings. As the ball swings into the stick of McDonald, another dangerous righty. He feeds it down to Lenz. Lenz fakes and goes up off the crossbar. He tried to reach up over top of Bialik. Ball goes loose. It'll be a reset as it's picked back up by McDonald. McDonald back over to Lenz. Lenz across the top. Pulls it in, a swim move. And he tried to go up high on the short side this time. And he missed the target. Oh, they give him a reset, so I guess they say it hit Bialik. Now wide open, Jackson Lenz faking and scoring up over top of Bialik. It's 2-0. Ball's pulled and into possession of the Kings. Gelowitz will look to move it here. He gets the ball over the left side where he hit Clark. Now the ball in possession of Palindry. Pick up by Pladsen. Pladsen winds and fires, stopped by Bialik. Ball goes loose into the far corner, and it's picked back up by the Kings. They'll get the reset. Pladsen swings it down at the knees of Janot, and it'll be Warrior ball on the back over. Plays blown back in with Morris coming up the wall with it. Morris hands it off to Hoagland, who swings it over to Andrusiak. Now the half wall where Lafleur sits. Strong side left. The ball's in behind its intended target. It goes loose to the benches, and it's going to be batted at. It'll be over and back, and it'll be Kings ball. As I said off the top, the Kings enjoying a nice season here, 13-1. They sit atop the East, and they already know they're going to be playing the Blizzard. As that shot goes in from distance from McDonald, so the big guns for the Kings on the board here with Lenz and McDonald getting markers. It's 3-0. And it looks like the Warriors will take a timeout here as the ball just going in a little too easily right now. As Coach Vadiep calls the stoppage to try and talk to his players and bring them back into focus. Want to thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. So we know the Kings will be playing the Blizzard in well, it'll be round 2 because the 2 teams get a bye with only 3 teams in the division and the SWAT being eliminated. We know the Crude will be taking on the Outlaws in the 2-3 in the north. It'll be Mountaineers, Marauders in the 2-3 in the south. Of course, the Rebels getting the bye in the north, the Shamrocks getting the bye in the south. And in the central, some jockeying still to be determined. But right now, it would be the Mavericks with the bye and the Silvertips finishing second and taking on the Chill in the 2-3 in the central, and the Rampage being eliminated. As the ball is picked up by Cameron, headman up to Bilodeau. It was behind him, and Andrews is going to pick the loose ball up. Here come the Kings back the other way. Clark cradles, swings it. McDonald back over to Clark. Clark down underneath, turns back. He tried to feed a King up high, and the ball is going to go loose. And the 30-second shot clock will expire. And as such, it'll be Warrior ball. Ball's fed, and it's picked off. Good stick there by South. And the Kings offense will set up Pladsen. Panko, as the ball goes loose. Good defense by the Warriors, and Redlick vacuums up the loose ball. Trenton Redlick stops up, and will wait for some help. Fed through the attempted to be fed through the defense. The ball got picked off momentarily, and then the ball is lost and then regained by the Kings. Here's McDonald. Swung over to Clark, who buries it short side to give the Kings a 4-goal lead. Another face-off win here by the Kings. Pladsen races in to the net and tried to bounce one at the feet of Bialik as he was falling, and Bialik was able to hold that off. Now turned back over right into the stick of Jeannot. Ball swings, Lenz walks around a defender and then lost it. And they say a King went through the crease, and it'll be Warrior ball. Patterson rumbles his way over center and throws it away at the feet of Pennock. Pladsen with the loose ball. Floats a pass up floor. And it's going to bounce into the stick of Bialik, who picks it back up for the Warriors. And now transitioning out were the Warriors, but they turn it over. Flip down the floor and in front of the net, unable to grab it, was Casemore for the Kings, and now the Warriors will regain possession. Ball pops in the air. Here come the Kings back down floor. Swim move, and nice effort there by Panko, and he feeds it cross crease, and leaning in and trying to reach around Bialik was Keogh. Good save there by Bialik, his best of the game. And back up floor come the Kings. 10:38 to go first period, they lead 4-0. Here's Lenz. Turning back out. He hits Pladsen, who swings it quickly over to the left side. Back over to Lenz up top. Lenz taken down on a high hit. He gets back up and got a good shot off, and Bialik made the save. But it'll be a Kings power play with Lenz going to the box for the Warriors. So up top, the ball will sit with Seaborg as the ball goes around the perimeter. Lenz steps into one, and far side, Bialik got a big piece of it, but it got by him to give the Kings a 5-goal lead. Loose ball pick up there by the Kings. As the ball is lost momentarily by Clark. Picked back up by Keogh. Keogh, McDonald quick stick from distance. Stopped on the short side by Bialik. Loose ball, McDonald feeds it. Not brought in. I think it might have hit a stick. I'm not sure it got there. And the ball is promptly picked back up by the Kings. Clark, little sidearm shot down low on Bialik. He turns it away. And the Warriors get one back the other way. Johnny Royer sneaks in behind and gets the Warriors their first marker of the game. Loose ball. Lentz had his stick knocked away, and the Kings are going to come away with it. It's a lot of possession right now in this game off of draws for the Kings. Left side, now Lentz steps into one and stopped by Bialik. Ball goes in behind the net where Bilodeau has some trouble with it. But he picks it up, and he's going to be pressed here by Keogh, or by Clark, excuse me. Now that ball is floated up over the glass, and we'll get our first media timeout of the game. Take this time to remind you about Battle of the Border taking place in Missoula, Montana this September. Check out the North versus South box lacrosse game and tour the beautiful Montana campus. That's this September in Missoula, Montana. Check it out, Battle of the Border. And we're ready to start play back up here with Platson bringing it up for the Kings. Half wall, McDonald pops up off of that, and he will swing it. And a moving pick that's going to be called on the Kings. Now Wes Kendall's going to say it's a penalty. Cross-checking will be the call, and the Warriors will get their first power play of the game. Kai Morris will play the top of the power play. Andrusiak on that left side with Nicholson. Andrusiak shoots that low shot. Got a piece of Andrews, so the Warriors will get a reset. As Bialik picks it back up and drops it off for Morris. Morris, Royer back up to Morris. Andrusiak. Morris. Steps into one, and that hits pipe. And that didn't look like it had much space to get through. I thought it might just hit the defender, but it got around him and kissed the bar. Minute 10 remaining in the power play as Morris makes his way back up the floor. Fresh 30 for the Warriors. Ball goes around the top. As the Warriors not doing a whole lot on this power play as Nicholson gets jammed up in the middle of the floor. Ball not moving all that well right now. Royer tried to go through the box with that pass, telegraphed it, and it got knocked down by the Kings. Andrews is going to look to outlet, and he's going to get the ball up, but the ball is bounced off of a Warrior leg and subsequently turns it back over into Warrior possession. Here's Dylan Nicholson now out of the near corner, up top now to Morris. Andrusiak on the shooter again. Ball works its way back to Nicholson. Seal set there on the right side, and then Basinger with a low-to-low shot, soaked by a Kings defender. Morris back over to Royer, who stops and waits and gets it back up top to Morris. Morris, Andrusiak, and he rises one right into the chest of Andrews. As Jama knocks down a loose ball and turns it back for Nicholson. 3-on-1 partially here, but Nicholson gets caught and he'll pull it out. Backdoor feed goes off of a Warrior stick. And here come the Kings as a slash is absorbed by Clark. He's knocked heavily into the boards by Bilodeau. Ball goes loose and it's picked back up by the Kings. McDonald in front, and a beautiful finish there as he got a pass from Seaborg. And that was a thing of beauty as he did not really tip off his shot at all. He just sort of floated and pushed the ball out of his stick on a bit of an awkward release point and caught Bialik off guard. And he did not know the ball was coming out when it did. And nice finish there by McDonald to make it 6-1. And you'll see a lot of the better finishers can change their release points and can get the ball to come out of their stick without much of a wind-up or out much of a tell. And that's what you saw there from McDonald. Kings possession once again off of the draw. As Penko gets it to Pladsen, ball is fed down low. It's picked back up off the boards. Now in front, Pladsen faking and trying to go up top. Stepped in the crease before the ball got to the goal line and stayed out of the net anyway, so it'll be Warrior ball. 5 minutes to go now, first period. Kings up 6-1. Lafleur spins down underneath. He comes back up top now. And he swings it to Hoagland from way out, up above the restraining line, and then the rebound was almost picked up by Nicholson. He got pushed through the crease. He couldn't pick it up, but Andrusiak did. And now back the other way come the Kings. And for anybody unfamiliar, you cannot run through the crease and pick up the ball in the offensive zone. So you got to wait for a teammate to do so. If you're the first guy to touch it, they blow it dead and give the defense the ball. So that's why Nicholson couldn't pick that up. Ball moves, Lenz into the middle as a cutter came through. He was sealed off nicely there by the defender, and then the ball was picked up. Avoiding the crease was Seaborg somehow. Got a shot off. Bialik with the save. McDonald will collect the loose change. McDonald's waiting here for someone to come and be an option. That shot goes wide. Seaborg with the loose ball. Seaborg chased out and tried to flip it inside on the roll. Wasn't close. Now Seaborg goes to the net, was wide open, but the pass didn't connect. And now a King goes down behind the plate. The Warriors will come away with the ball. Basinger hands it off to Andrusiak. Andrusiak up top to Nicholson, who's got a lane to the net. Nicholson pulls it in, didn't shoot it. Should have probably shot it from where he was, but elected to keep it. Now he's going to be pushed out as he rolls back into the middle of the floor and takes a shot right into the chest of Andrews. And then Hoagland will turn the ball over on the rainbow pass. And here comes Kennedy. Now Keogh to Clark. Ball sits on the half wall on the left side. That shot comes in from distance out of the stick of Janot, and the Warriors will regain possession here off the save. Ball goes loose. It's hustled after by Lafleur. He pushes a King into the boards, but doesn't come away with the ball. And the Kings come back into the offensive zone. 2:30 to go here, first period, 6-1 Kings. Thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe, you'll be notified every time a game goes live. The ball's chopped at and pops out to Patterson, who runs down the floor. Quinn Patterson, and from way out on the run, beats Andrews to cut the lead to 4. And I don't know how he does it, but every game he seems to score a goal like that where there's 2 guys back and he just sort of runs in and shoots the ball at the net and it goes in. An unorthodox player is Quinn Patterson, but he can often get on the board for you. That's what he does there for the Warriors. It's now 6-2. Ball in behind the net for Keogh. Keogh up top. Seaborg feeds it to a wide open Pladsen, but he didn't step across the net and took away his angle, and pretty easy save there for Bialik. Ball comes back down floor. It'll be back over after it touched. I think it was knocked down or thrown back by the Kings. It'll be Warrior ball. Nicholson swings it to Hoagland. Hoagland pushed in behind the net. Surveying here, and he gets it over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak, soft shot into the gut of Andrews. As the Kings set back up offensively now, Lenz swings it dangerously over to a heavily marked player, but surviving that was Palindree. Now Seaborg with the outside take. Hits the end wall and goes off of official Wes Kendall, and it'll be a shot clock violation. It's going to be 8 seconds. And now a delay of game call is going to come up, so a double whammy here for the Warriors. Be a Kings power play. And the ball will move around the perimeter here. Shot misses the net, and it's going to bounce back down into the Kings zone, and the Warriors will have what will amount, if they hold on to it, to basically be the last possession of the period. Nicholson up to Andrusiak. Now Nicholson looks into the middle with it. Now he swings it to Hoagland. Hoagland steps down and shoots. Stopped by Andrews. And the ball is going to bounce into his crease. And the Kings will have 10 seconds here to work with. Now closer to 5 as they slowly make their way up the floor. Kennedy now takes off a little bit. Up top to Lenz. He mishandles it. And that's going to do it for the first period. After 1, it's going to be the Queen City Kings 6, the Edmonton Warriors 2. I want to thank you for joining us here on the channel, CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. After the first, Kings 6, Warriors 2. Check back with you in just under 10 minutes. at this CFL game. It's not even over. It's 50-32 with 6 minutes to go. 50-32.
Defense optional. Holy smokes.
As we return here to Bill Hunter Arena, it's second period action between the Warriors and the Kings. The Kings with a 6-2 lead. As we enter the middle frame, the Kings looking to improve their record to 14-1, as they've already clinched top spot in the Eastern Division. Do want to apologize. I've been calling number 33 on the Warriors, Hoagland. That is Carter Mitchell for the Warriors. He's played pretty much all year for the Outlaws, so it caught me off guard, and he looks a lot like Hoagland on the floor. That gets picked off or knocked down, and the ball pops back up to Seaborg. That shot goes off of the chest of Bialik, and Jama is going to pull up and feed it to Nicholson. Nicholson up top with it, and he just pushes the ball at the Kings netminder. That is their backup goaltender now in the net, Cameron Volk, as they look to give Andrew some time off. Busy weekend for them. They'll play the Rebels tomorrow and then finish the road trip up on Sunday against the CROW in St. Albert. So obviously looking ahead to what will be a tough game tomorrow against the Rebels and getting some backup work in for Volk here. As the Warriors are going to head to the power play here, as the Kings just took a penalty. They'll have to wait for about 8 seconds before they get their man out of the box. We'll play 4-on-4 momentarily. Here's Royer. Holds it, gets it up top to Morris. Steps into one that goes off of a stick wide, and it'll be Queen City ball. Ball's moved up floor. And waiting with it is Podol. He gets chased into the corner. And he puts his shoulder into a defender and then gets it out in front. McDonald tried to finesse one behind Bialik, but the ball goes into the corner. It's picked up by Patterson. Here's Andrusiak. Gets it over to Royer. He rolls it to Morris. And the ball will go around the perimeter here. Now back up top, Morris. Back pick set there, into the middle goes Royer, and he floated the ball by Volk, who was going the wrong way, but it hit the edge of the bar and stayed out. The Warriors will get the reset, however, and start with a fresh possession. Here's Nicholson. Morris now. Royer gets pushed up top, and he'll settle it down again here. Morris. Andrusiak, low to low, stop, rebound, and Nicholson floats it into the top of the net to make it 6-3. Jama with the loose ball. Heads back up floor and tried to hit Andrusiak out of the front gate. Got knocked down, and Kings back in possession. Here's Lenz. Up top, McDonald. Seaborg. Now Clark gets tripped up. One hands the ball over to Lenz. Lenz shoots that. A delayed call coming up against the Warriors. And the Kings power play will hit the floor once again. Looks like a slashing call to Bilodeau. And I believe it's a 5-minute call here. And it is. So the Kings with an extended power play opportunity. Seaborg. That ball skips down to the far crease. Now back over. Seaborg. Quick stick and good save there by Bialik. Loose ball is picked up by McDonald, who puts it into the open cage to make it 7-3. So each penalty kill getting taken advantage of for goals here on the last two. Nicholson with a rebound goal, and now McDonald with a second chance opportunity, and goalies being down and out and having a bunch of mess to shoot at. Neither guy made a mistake. They give the ball to the Warriors off the draw. Morris chased into the corner. He'll come up high with it and swings it over to Lafleur. Lafleur up to Royer, who backpedals. Royer with the pass, attempted pass into the middle, got knocked down by a Queen City defender, and it's transitioned back out. Clark playing the left shooter on this power play. So the ball works its way around back to Clark. Seal comes for Lenz, who backpedals and steps down into a shot. And that hit pipe. And then an awkward play there. The ball hit the ref, and then the Warrior overran it. And the Kings get possession back. Lenz. Shot from Clark hits a stick and goes out of play. So the Kings will get a reset. Still with 3.5 to go on this power play. Clark up top. Lenz skips it. Ball wasn't caught. Now Platson will go and grab the loose ball. Platson gets it back from Lenz. Seal for Clark, and the ball is going to be picked up by Patterson. Patterson taking some contact and just sort of standing his ground. Content to just hold on to this. Now he whips it over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak, a couple of defenders meet him, and the ball is going to turn over, and here come the Kings. Lenz on a partial break. Lenz, top corner, scores 8-3. That ball's picked up and floated in on Bialik. Good stop there by the netminder, and Cameron is going to run back the other way with it. Cameron hits Nicholson, who's going to wait and move the ball down to Royer. Royer looks into the middle, back up top to Basinger. Basinger down to Mitchell. Mitchell winds and fires off the back of a King defender. It will turn back over into King possession. As I mentioned, the Kings opening up a road trip here. First game of a 3-gamer. They'll be in Fort Saskatchewan tomorrow and visit the CROW on Sunday, early at 1 o'clock. And that's a good save by Bialik because he jumped down to the floor to make that save. Good loose ball there is picked back up by the Kings, and they'll head out. Seaborg down the middle, and a great cut there off the bench. Platson found himself wide open to make it 9-3. And that's the one thing I really like about this Kings team is they got a number of guys out the front gate that are pretty smooth with their sticks, have good finish, and will make you pay when you don't get on and off the floor quickly and pick guys up in transition. Lenz, McDonald, Platson, Keogh, Clark, Seaborg. Lots of guys that can hurt you. And I would say a little deeper than they were the last couple of seasons on offense. They've always had good offenses, but this year a little bit, maybe a little quicker on offense and a little sharper, a little deeper are the Kings. And that's going to be tough in the playoffs for anybody to handle and see if they can finally overcome their demons against the Blizzard. They've hosted the Blizzard the last 2 years in the East Final and lost both times in sweeps. As now the Warriors come back the other way, and that goes in. As the ball squeaks by Volk to make it 9-4. Loose ball, Keogh pick it up. As the ball is going to pop back out to a King. Keogh to the net, and a no-looker 5-hole fought off by Bialik. Jama having trouble with this. He gets pinned to the wall. And the Warriors back with possession. And Druziak. Ball swings over to Mitchell. He comes off the wall. Back over to Nicholson. Down low. And swung over to Mitchell again. Mitchell up top. Backpedaling and shooting and missing the net. That'll be a shot clock violation. Kings ball. Seaborg. That shot goes wide. And it'll be over and back. Warrior ball. Royer. And Druziak steps back, tries to get across the top, and an off-balance shot misses the target. Back come the Kings. In around the back of the net goes Panko. Ball pops up off the boards, and Patterson races away. Patterson has Lenz on him to the net. And then the trail check came in, but still getting the shot away was Patterson. And then a great job and a show of dexterity there by Blundell to avoid the crease and pick that up and not go back in. 9-4, 10 minutes to go here, second period. Want to thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe, you'll be notified every time a game goes live. Clark swings it. Now out in front, Palindry had an opportunity and Bialik said no. Ball is picked up by the Warriors and brought up. Lafleur goes to Morris. Morris has a one-on-one opportunity if he wants it. Back pedals out, and he gets it to Andrusiak, to Royer. Royer bounces a soft one into Volk. Easy stop for him. Transitioning out are the Kings. Ball over to McDonald. Now Cutter and Seaborg fits one in on the short side. So that goes through Bialik somehow, and the Kings have their 10th. So that prolific offense of the Kings doing some work here as exactly halfway through the game. They've hit 10. And they've gotten contributions from a number of guys here offensively on the scoreboard. And that's a rare face-off win for the Warriors. That's Beeler, who's going to wait and look to dish it. Now cutting backdoor was Mitchell, picked up at the last second off ball. He'll get it now. Seal set by Basinger. Ball over. Brought up, and Nicholson goes wide. And that'll be our second media timeout of the game. We want to remind you about Battle of the Border taking place in Missoula, Montana. Go check out the North versus South box lacrosse tournament and the beautiful University of Montana campus. That's the Battle of the Border taking place this September in Missoula, Montana. The whistle is blown back in, and ball is picked up by the Kings off of the far boards. Seaborg bats it back to try to avoid the over and back, but it's going to be picked up, and almost getting blown up there was Bilodeau on the suicide pass. And it's going to be thrown away now by the Kings off the glass in behind Bialik. Good loose ball there by the Warriors. They'll come out. Here's Kai Morris. He has Andrusiak. Got it to him late, though, as he was going into the space of the defender. Andrusiak hands it off to Lafleur, who swings it to Morris. Morris with a long take, and then the ball almost rolls in the net. That would have been a bad one on Volk, as he wasn't able to get much on it, and he was on the wrong side of the floor, shooting off his back foot, and the ball almost rolled up off of Volk and in behind him. Kings with the ball now. Ball right side with McDonald. Now he flips it to Land, low to low. Shot shut off by Bialik. Good pass there, but it was low, and McDonald is going to pick up the loose ball. Now on a breakaway, and just missing up high, and getting a piece of it was Bialik, and then the quick stick is turned away by Bialik as well. Great save there by the netminder, and now a Warrior is shoved into the boards. Pretty easy interference call for official Sean Reed there. It'll be Warrior ball. That's going to be back over now, and it'll be Kings ball. Now up top, Seaborg controls. McDonald winds and fires, stopped by Bialik, and then rebounding. Lucas Bialik slides over and makes a great save to keep this one at 10-4 here for the Warriors. Great at show-off athleticism by Bialik there, battling in a game that started to get away now from the Warriors. Now a quick stick goes wide, and through the crease went Clark. That'll be blown dead and given to the Warriors. Cameron back the other way for the Warriors. Basinger. Now to Royer. Royer, that pass was to nobody, and it's going to be picked up by Volk in his own crease. Stopping up are the Kings, waiting for some help here as they go to work offensively. That'll be blown dead, and it'll be Warrior ball. Here's Lentz for the Warriors. He gets it over to Andrusiak. Andrusiak to Mitchell. Mitchell throws that into the stick of a King, and they'll get an interference call and get possession here. 6:06 to go, second period. Kings up 10-4. Here's Keogh. Up high with it. Keogh gets it to McDonald. Thought about going underneath, now back up top with it. That shot taken. Rebound, and behind the back by Seaborg is stopped by Bialik. Run out here by Mitchell. Royer. Morris. Nicholson quickly over to Royer. And that outside shot bounced into the midsection of Volk. Ball in around behind the net. It's passed up high, now into the stick of Keogh. Keogh fakes the flip, takes it, and stopped by Bialik. And then the rebound is picked back up, and missing the net there were the Kings. A loose ball as a Warrior takes a run at a King, knocks him down, and somehow that's not loose ball interference. It'll be Warrior ball. And it'll be picked back up by the Kings and cross the timeline with into the possession of Keogh. 4:22 now to go, second period. Kings leading at 10-4. Attempt, missed the net. Shot, and that's right into the midsection of Bialik. Brought back up floor by the Warriors. Here's Lafleur to Mitchell. Mitchell across the top, now to Nicholson. Nicholson gets a pick from Lafleur. Ball goes loose. Mitchell didn't grab it, and good move there by Kennedy to avoid him and get up the wall. Kennedy goes for a run, gets it up high to Pladsen. Pladsen all the way to the net, faking, and then tried to go far side back to the short side really on Bialik. Turned away. Now off the bench comes Andrusiak the other way. Good stop there by Volk. One of his better ones since coming in at the start of the second period. Ball over to Lenz. Lenz steps into one, stopped by Bialik, and then the rebound and tucked home by Keogh to make it 11-4 for the Kings. They tie up off the draw. The ball pops up and into the possession of the Kings. They got numbers here if they want it. Seaborg elects to just keep it, though. They'll get, now wide open is Penko. And that's a good stop up high by Bialik, and then the ball came back out and fired home by the Kings to make it an 8-goal lead. Ball is pushed out in front, goes loose, and is picked back up by Clark. Clark over to Lenz. Slip pick there by Pladsen. Ball goes loose. Picked back up by Janot. Swung to the right side. Back over to Clark. Clark, Keogh. Nice pass there. A little bit of a cross-body push over to the far shooter. Loose ball comes right back out, and then off the post on the second chance opportunity went Lenz. Cameron, loose ball, up floor. Basinger. Morris. Now Nicholson. As we dip underneath a minute here in the second period. Right side now. The Kings will operate offensively. Penko flips it. Now gets it back. Penko to the net and trying to outweight Bialik there. But Bialik stood his ground enough to fight that one off. Another nice save by the netminder. Seaborg. Now in front, and a little twister across the net by McDonald. Kind of put it right back into Bialik there. Now the ball is dropped by Lafleur. It'll be back over, and it'll be Kings' ball here with 16 seconds remaining in the period. Seaborg hops into the offensive zone up top. Pladsen, nice move to the net. Good save there by Bialik. And the loose ball is picked up by Jama as he's pushed into the crease. And with 0.7 seconds left on the clock, that'll do it for the middle frame. After 2 periods of play, it'll be the Queen City Kings 12, the Edmonton Warriors 4. Thanks so much for joining us here on the channel, CROW LAX TV. Hit subscribe. You'll be notified every time a game goes live. After 2, Kings 12, Warriors 4. We'll be right back with you in 10 minutes. Welcome back inside Bill Hunter Arena for third period action. It's the visiting Queen City Kings up on the Edmonton Warriors by a score of 12-4 as we begin the third period. And right off the draw, going to the net and knocked down was Janot for the Kings. And now the loose ball is picked up and brought out to the side of the dotted line where it's moved back in behind the net and gotten back. Lenz was waiting for the pass. It got knocked down, and he's pushed to the boards. Ball's knocked backwards, and rolling it in on net and getting the reset were the Kings, and then picked back up and turning away from a defender, and the shot came from Janot there, just missing, and now the Warriors will collect. .39, I believe, is Aitken for the Warriors, getting his first in Junior B earlier tonight. Nicholson shot off the foot of a Kings defender, going down hard there was Jax Janot for the Kings, and Seaborg will take it. Here's McDonald, the assistant captain and right-handed sniper, flips it back to Panko, who promptly swings it over to Clark. Clark, nice flip pass into the middle, and Seaborg just rifled that into the top corner without much of a wind-up at all, and he makes good on that attempt to give the Kings a 13-4 lead. Now on the draw, it's going to be picked up by the Kings, and Pladsen comes right in, and Bialik got his shoulder on that, it appears. Palindry will wait for some reinforcements and get the ball to the half wall for Pladsen. Pladsen into the middle, cutter, behind the back attempt, goes off the floor and out of play. Jama will step inside the crease and look to transition it. Jama loses it though on the cradle, and the Kings gain it back, and then quick stick stopped, and Jama picks it up. Jama across the restraining line and hands it off to Andrusiak. Mitchell misses the target. Ball bounces back over center, where the Kings will collect. Casemore up high for Panko. Now Seaborg gets the pick there from Clark. Clark rolls open, but the ball was low and at his feet. And Bilodeau will collect inside his own crease. Ethan Bilodeau over center, and he'll hand off to Lafleur. Benjamin Lafleur down deep into the corner, looking to feed. He hits Nicholson, delayed call coming up to the Kings. Nicholson bounces it off the floor, out of play, and it'll be the Warriors' power play hitting the floor. To the box goes Clark, and Morris will start this one up for the Warriors. Royer plays catch around the perimeter with Morris and Basinger on the right side. And ball gets lost now by Morris. Nicholson, loose ball, cross crease pass. Royer didn't bring it in, and the Kings try to one-hand it up the floor. It didn't work out, and the ball's going to turn back over into the stick of Nicholson. And Andrusiak gets pushed down to the floor by the head of the stick of Kennedy, who runs away with it. Awkward looking play there, right? I don't know, Andrusiak must have stepped funny because he is really just ahead of the stick that kind of pushed into his midsection and he fell over. As the Kings look to try to kill some time here. McDonald up top to Pladsen. Now, shot from distance, and Keogh was going to go and collect his own loose ball. Keogh chased there by Patterson. Bit of a cat and mouse game there by Keogh. Fires it down to McDonald. A good stick there by Aitken will knock it down. Andrusiak up top, plays catch with Morris, now down to Nicholson. Andrusiak, Morris. Into the middle, Royer finds Twine. It's 13-5. And on the loose ball pickup off the draw goes Janot. Doubled there by the Warriors aggressively. The ball goes loose and Jama will cross center with it. Jama spins back and gets it to Lafleur. Lafleur, Mitchell. Mitchell, Nicholson into the middle. Morris. And he was off angle there as he had gone too far over to the wrong side of the floor. Easy save there by Volk. Janot doubled. Nicholson and Lafleur all over him. He tries to flip it over to Seaborg, who runs it down near the Warrior bench. Back over to Lenz. Lenz, McDonald, no look pass, and Seaborg got stopped by Bialik. Patterson loose ball. And he takes some whacks, but transitions it out. Patterson steps into one, and then he gets cranked and hits the deck. Basinger. Patterson goes back at a defender. Now the ball into the stick of Andrusiak. Andrusiak underneath to the net, got hooked up and lost the ball. That'll be a shot clock violation. Kings ball. 13:43 to go, final frame here. Kings up by a score of 13-5. Here's Keogh. McDonald. Palindry. That goes to nobody, but Lenz picks up the loose ball. Lenz thought about shooting, now back over to the left side. Step back shot there, misses the target. Ball goes loose. And Beeler will pick it up off of the cement here. Beeler, 2-on-1 with Morris. Morris in, and he hits the crossbar. Nicholson, loose ball. So the Warriors' offense will hit the floor. Royer, Mitchell. Andrusiak. Royer, chased up high. Now to the dotted, he twists it into the stick of Volk. I want to thank you so much for joining us here tonight, Friday night. We've got Kings and Warriors here from Bill Hunter Arena as that pass is thrown away, and Patterson had the ball come in behind him and tried to one-hand it, couldn't bring it in. Some sloppy play here results in the Kings regaining the ball. Panko. McDonald. Now over to Seaborg, who swings it over to Pladsen. Pladsen, wide open is McDonald, in tight. McDonald, good shoulder save there by Bialik, who's made a number of good saves in this game. I know the score is 13-5, but you've seen a lot of chances, a lot like what McDonald just had with all day right in front of the net, and he's made a lot more of them than he's let in. Now a nice quick stick save on McDonald. And Aitken will come back and headman it. Mitchell, but the ball was low to him, and it took away his opportunity to go in on a breakaway. McDonald thought about a shot, steps back and goes underneath, pushes it back up high and into the stick of Keogh. Clark, that's Palindry. As that shot got in behind Bialik and it looked like it hit the butt end of his stick and stayed out. Back the other way goes Bilodeau. 11-11 to go third period, 13-5, Kings lead. Nicholson steps back out. Looking for some help here. He gets pushed underneath. Nicholson holding on to this for a long time here. Bounces it off the floor, and that'll be a shot clock violation on the Warriors. Ball turns over, and Patterson will collect. Lafleur. Morris. Now to Basinger. That shot comes in from Andrusiak. Stop by Volk. Reset for the Warriors. Royer, who has the last goal in this game, to Morris. Morris gets stripped as he tried to lean into a defender, and here come the Kings. Kennedy waits up. Kennedy goes around Cameron. Now pulls back out and into the stick of Clark, as that shot comes in and McDonald throws that through Bialik. Not sure how that made its way in, but it does, and it's 14-5. So 9:50 to go now. The Kings lead is 9. And another face-off victory for the guys in white. Ball goes around the top here. And that shot floated, sailing past the far side of the net, back over to Pladsen. Shot. Ball goes loose in behind the net. A couple of Warriors surround Janot. And Jama will turn off a check on the loose ball and gallop over center. Jama to Nicholson. Nicholson pushes the ball deep into the zone and then gets it to Mitchell. Nicholson. That ball goes loose. It's picked back up by the Warriors. And Royer will do some work up top. Royer back to Nicholson. He takes a hack and he gets around the defender. Nicholson all the way to the net. Tried to jam one in on the short side. Turned away by Volk. Ball pops up in the air, and Mitchell tries to run it down. Good job by him, and he'll do so. Carter Mitchell, loose ball work there for the Warriors as he flips it down to Royer. And Druziak way wide there on that attempt. And that's going to be back over. And with 8:01, we'll have a penalty call coming up here behind the plate of the Kings. And that'll be our third and final media timeout. I want to remind you about Battle of the Border. Battle of the Border will take place in Missoula, Montana in September. Check out the North versus South box lacrosse game and tour the beautiful University of Montana campus. It's the Battle of the Border coming up this September. Great saves by Bialik. As the hidden ball, and then now McDonald, as I say that, jams one in on the short side quick stick. It's 15-5. Loose ball in the stick of the Kings. As that's thrown back, it'll be back over, and it'll be Warrior ball. Here's Cameron. Thought about going one-on-one. He'll backpedal out. Cameron chased up high, and he gets it into the stick of Mitchell. Mitchell to Royer. Royer to Andrusiak. Andrusiak running around with it. He steps back and shoots it down low on Volk. Pretty easy save for him. Volk is going to have to move this, but Kings are going to have to hurry to avoid the 8-second count. They won't do it, and it'll be Warrior ball. Here's Nicholson. And Druziak having trouble with it. He gets pushed to the wall. Ball goes loose. Good loose ball pick up there. And here go the Kings in transition. Pulling it out and setting back up. The visitors go to work. Lenz chased by Pennock. Seaborg wide open in front and faking and taking is Jelowitz for the Kings, and they've got their 16th. And the Warriors come back down. It's Nicholson. Nicholson and hits Lafleur in front of the net on the pick and roll. And the Warriors cut it back down to 10. Morris taking draws with not much time left in this one. Here's Pladsen. Hands it to Lenz, who goes down to the dotted, now back up high. Swings it to Clark. Clark gets the pick, steps around, and save on the low shot there by Bialik, who I think has been the Warriors player of this game, even though the score is 16-6. He's made a number of really nice saves. Have there been a few he'd want back? Yes, but he's made probably 15 great saves in this one, as that shot gets sailed off the glass, and then the rebound came right out to Pladsen. Bialik shut him off. Patterson, loose ball. And going to have to hurry to avoid the 8-second count. They won't. And it'll be Kings ball with less than a minute to play. I set the line on this game at 10 goals before it started. And that's where we sit right now, 16-6. As the Kings look content to play this one out here. No reason for them to take any more shot attempts here, as the final seconds will tick off with just under 30 to go. And it'll be Warrior ball with 24 seconds remaining. And the Warriors are going to take a timeout. So in a fast-moving game here, we haven't even hit 9:20 yet, and the game's about to end. The Warriors are going to start up here 6-on-5, but they did start the clock, so we're going to redo that sequence. Morris down low to Royer as they seal down. Royer up across. Or up high, rather, on the shot, and that's stopped by Volk. Loose ball is grabbed, and with an empty net, the Kings will sail the ball wide, and that's going to do it here from Bill Hunter Arena. It will be the Queen City Kings 16, the Edmonton Warriors 6. The Kings improved to 14-1. The Warriors dropped to 2-16 on the season, as each team moves on, obviously, with much different paths to end the season. Once again, your final score here from Bill Hunter Arena: the Queen City Kings 16, the Edmonton Warriors 6. I want to thank you for joining us here on the channel. Hit subscribe, you'll be notified every time a game goes live. Until tomorrow, we'll talk to you again soon. Have a good night, everyone.